This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
I mean, I'm not a brilliant negotiator. I'm not claiming to be, but I think if I were Hamas, I would have taken the deal maybe a year ago while you still had 3-4 buildings still standing.
And most all the top leadership.
Yeah, because now I think there's one building left. And
Yeah.
it's going to be expensive to rebuild it. And by the way, I don't think we're going to help.
Doubtful.
I don't see, at least during the Trump administration, I don't see them helping to rebuild Gaza.
Plus, from now on, they'll be very careful about having pagers or their phone go off in their pocket.
Yeah, they probably are using, walkie-talkies are dangerous too. But anyway, the peace plan has been accepted. And, funny, the only Democrat that's congratulated the president, John Fetterman.
You know, the one guy who everybody thought was just totally brain dead, right after he got elected to the Senate in Pennsylvania, now seems to be the most logical and sensible of all the Democrats in Senate or the House.
It's amazing. It really is. I don't know what happened, but anyway, good news. There's a peace settlement. In fact, they're not wasting any time. Trump says he may go over there this weekend.
Bibi Netanyahu has invited him over, and there are huge celebrations going on in Tel Aviv, and in fact, all over Israel right now. There are farmers over there who are plowing "Thank you, President Trump" in their fields, and
wow,
huge celebrations.
Now, I wonder how many of the hostages are actually still alive. Have you heard any estimates? I haven't really watched the news this morning.
The estimates, there are 48 still remaining and probably 20 still alive.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought the number of alive hostages was probably going to be somewhere around 20. There are still, all the hostages are still alive at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, but they're negotiating their releases as quickly as they can to end the Bill Belichick regime at UNC. What are we, 5 games into the season, and everybody wants out?
Yeah, in fact, all the coaching staff, they are looking for other opportunities. So it's pretty much a sinking ship. Hey, rats, this way.
Here in Charlotte, of course, they talk about that a lot on sports radio, and they have not been kind. Since the minute it was announced, they were all over the girlfriend thing, and surely he's smart enough to realize that's a really bad look to have a 24-year-old girlfriend on the sidelines wearing a halter top, asking for money on the sidelines. You would think that somebody in management would say, look, Bill, we don't care who you sleep with, but she can't be on the sidelines on TV.
Plus, if he would look at himself in the mirror with his big belly and his old man titties.
Well, he can look at pretty much any website and see that, because TMZ and all those, they got plenty of photos they've posted of him, but they've just looked horrible. Yeah. If they were winning football games, he could probably get away with it, but they're terrible at everything.
Well, for those of you who are not in tune with college football, Bill Belichick, of course, Super Bowl winning champion, Super Bowl winning coach, for New England, signed a huge deal to be the head coach at the University of North Carolina to coach the Tar Heels.
Was it a huge deal? How much did he get? $10 million?
I'm not sure of that, but what is his exit? What if they fire him? You know what is $20 million?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure the details of it, but the point is, it's just been a disaster. They look like they're poorly coached in every area of the game. Special teams, defense, offense. They haven't recruited good players. They don't finish games. There have been poor decisions made during the games. And of course, all these donors that put all that money in, they're not happy because they want, this is why college football is broken. Because in this age of NIL, you're supposed to win your first year now. You don't get,
Plus, a guy with name recognition like Bill Belichick, he's supposed to come in and turn the program around, and they are
Yeah, they
supposed to be in the
thought that
national championship.
they thought that all the really good college players would want to come and play
Sure.
for this NFL coach, and then
Yeah.
coming out of college, they would
Yeah.
would up their draft status
Yeah.
some, but just hadn't worked that way.
And they are serious talks all throughout the university and in sports that they have had conversations with him about his exit strategy.
Yeah,
And
they've
he
been talking
says,
about that. They've been talking about that here on the radio for like a week now. That
yeah,
there were
he says he's willing to forego the $20 million for $1 million if he gets another job coaching, or if he gets a job in media somewhere.
See, I don't think that's going to happen. He burned all of his bridges in the NFL. That's why he didn't stay in the NFL. He couldn't get a job the last year he was there, and so he was without a job for a year. And so he decides to come over to college. And now after this fiasco, he's not going to go to another college unless he goes to what's the military? Is it Army that he's real involved in?
Might be, he might have been one of the coaches at Army.
Yeah, he I think he was a coach there, but he goes and gives speeches there. That's the only possibility. But at his age, surely he's got enough money to retire.
Unless they put in the contract that the only way your girlfriend is on the sideline is if she's wearing a cheerleader outfit.
Yeah. Or an Army uniform, one or the other. She joins the Army, maybe it's okay.
Or unless she's the mascot, that's it.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the Bill Belichick story.
The inventor of predicative text died yesterday. His funfair is next monkey.
Hey, I have some great news today.
More great news.
The government shutdown continues.
Yes.
And the good news is the IRS is shutting down today.
Woohoo!
That's great news.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Did you see Chuck Schumer yesterday? He said every day the shutdown goes on is good for the Democrats.
Yeah, Schumer, not a good look for him during this shutdown. Did you see what Jon Stewart's been doing to him on his show? Jon Stewart, I wish he would pick a side and stay with it. He vacillates with his point of view so often that I can't stand to watch him, but he's been taking the Schumer press conferences, and he'll let him do it, and then he'll go, I could do without and he'll imitate all of his moves and everything, but he just, him, Hakeem Jeffries, and Pelosi, they just say the same things over and over and over and over. Just hate Trump. That's all it is.
You know what they call Jeffries, right? They call him Dollar Store Obama.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a stiff mannequin, that guy.
Yeah.
And did you see him, what was the Republican congressman's name that was giving a press conference, and Jeffries walked up into him and tried to be a tough guy and told him to shut his mouth? And if I were that guy, I'd have smacked him.
Well, that happened right outside of, I think, is it Gallegos? Was that the other congressman's name? Happened right outside the office in the hallway. And it seemed more like that was something that one or the other of them staged in order to get cameras to focus on it and see what was going on.
I think Jeffries staged it.
Yeah.
But now Pelosi was on television yesterday. I saw her doing an interview, and it's strange now when they go on CNN or MSNBC, it's not always friendly.
Yeah.
The way it used to be. She's on CNN. And what's that Dash, Hannah, what's her name? Last name's Dash.
Oh, Dana Bash, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, she's talking to her. I want you to watch this clip I have. Watch Nancy Pelosi's lips. It's like she constantly has food stuck in her false teeth, and she can't get it out.
I understand what you're saying about where the differences are, and they are very big. They are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR, a bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks, and Democrats are voting no, and for the reasons you just said. So how are they shutting down the government?
First of all, it isn't a clean CR.
Okay.
So let's not stipulate to that. It's not a clean CR.
What do they have in it?
Going into that. The point is,
We missed the earlier part of it. She's like a mule chewing the corn for a second time or something. But
like a skunk eating briars.
Yeah, she's so dismissive.
You date me because I am the opposite of your mother. I'm fun. I'm crazy. I'm wild, and we're gonna have fun together. Let's go party.
Well, the big political news, the big earthquake in politics, in Democratic politics, is Katie Porter put on a master class in how to destroy your career in seconds. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it. Here's a woman who had kind of made a name for herself in Congress. She was on some committees, and she was vicious on these committees, and she always used a whiteboard to try to simplify what she was trying to, and she was pretty effective at it. But she had kind of been anointed, I guess, as the lead Democrat to replace Gavin Newsom as governor of California. So there's some CBS network in California of, I guess, all the local CBS television stations. And every election cycle, they do interviews with all the candidates, one at a time. They ask them the same 10 or 12 questions, and they all come and they all give their answers. And it's a really easy way for the voters to compare the candidates. Now, I understand that she already was the anointed one going in. Now, I didn't know a lot about her until yesterday when I started watching these videos. Her ex-husband, have you ever heard what he says about?
Yes.
She wouldn't let him have a telephone.
Right.
Unless she handed it to him. Here, you can use the phone between 1 and 3 today. She was so insecure because she's hideous. I mean, I hate to pick on somebody's looks, but she's hideous.
She is.
They call her Potatoes. Have you heard that nickname? They call her
because
Potatoes.
of her husband.
So anyway, what? It's because of her husband? Why?
Oh, yeah. They were having a disagreement, and she dumped a pot of scalding potatoes on his head.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear that part.
Yes, she dumped scalding potatoes on his head.
Well, isn't that assault with a deadly weapon or something?
It is, and that's his accusation at any rate. Okay. But why would he make up something like, she poured scalding potatoes on my head?
I don't know.
She constantly referred to him as incompetent and stupid, and used other words, flowery language, to describe him in front of their kids.
She has a very foul mouth. She's got a sailor mouth. Now, anyway, this reporter, I watched the reporter, and they showed, of course, afterwards, they showed several other gubernatorial candidates that went through this interview process, and it was, easy peasy. They answered all the questions, and the question she didn't like is, you're going to need 40% of Californians voted for Donald Trump. And you're going to need to get some of those voters to vote for you to win the governorship. How do you plan to convince them? And she goes, I need them. What makes you think I'm going to need them, ma'am? And isn't that calling a woman ma'am, isn't that really anti-liberal Democrat?
Yeah, especially in that tone of voice.
Yeah. So anyway, here's the exchange with her and the reporter, and it's nasty.
Yeah.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get...
Now, here's the thing we've been talking about right here, where the liberal Democrat turns to the camera and laughs off the whole thing. I want you to watch. She instantly goes to it, and she executes it very well.
Yeah. How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election? Yes.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation.
Too late.
Ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Yeah, because that's what reporters are supposed to do.
Right.
When you don't give a clear or concise answer, they have a follow-up question. That's what infuriates the public, is when they don't follow up and they let them get away with not answering the question.
And that's what's been happening for the last several years. When somebody would follow up with something, have some journalistic, intellectual curiosity, ask them to explain what they mean by what they just said. And of course, she's sitting there, and you can tell by the look on her face, she's thinking, "Where's my boiling potatoes right now?"
Yeah, exactly. She just she doesn't have. How dare this little pissant ask me a tough question? I'm not going to answer it. I mean, that was her attitude, and as I said, there was a master class in how to destroy your career, because when you're a nasty bitch like that, and you do something like that in public, and it goes viral, and the people that work for you, or the people that have worked for you, the people that are around you, they see it and they hate you. They only work with you because they want to be in politics, and you're their ticket or whatever. They go, all right, here's my opening. And they have some video stashed away somewhere of a compromising moment. And you have things like this that came out.
Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that.
So here's somebody trying to help her. Telling her that she's wrong about the information that she's giving to this reporter, trying to save her from looking bad. And she yells at her. And then after she gets the information, she goes, well, you were still in my shot before. Get out of my shot. I want the whole shot to myself. Get out of here.
With my big fat face in the whole shot.
Stay out of my She's just mean. Now, and then somebody found this little gem. This is the one that gets me about some. I don't think all Democrats or all liberals are this way, but there's the left wing of the Democratic Party. They're okay with any LGBTQ, PQ, XYZ, WC, W, any letter of that alphabet they're okay with. And now they've added the P to that list, the pedophile. And now they're starting to openly say it's not their fault. That's the way they were made. And so you can't call them criminals.
That's their sexual orientation.
For doing, what comes naturally to them. And here she is trying to explain that.
This allegation of groomer and pedophile, it is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
I'll tell you what, if she can come back from this, it will be a Trump-like maneuver for her to get into, but I don't think she can do it. I think she's toast.
It would be less of that than a condemnation of the whole electorate in California if they're willing to have this woman
and it would not surprise me if that's the case. And it may turn out that because they don't have another strong candidate for governor, and they want, California always want a governor that can step in to run for president, the next time. They always want one in the wings. And I don't think any of these other candidates fit that bill. So they may run cover for her, as they're doing for the guy in Maryland, the AG candidate in Maryland.
No, it's Virginia.
Virginia,
Jay Jones
sent the horrible tweets out about shooting a person and his children and all that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
In California, if she gets to that place where she's running for governor, she may not run against a Republican because they have ranked choice.
Right.
So you can vote all the way down, and you can have 2 or 3 Democrats running against each other for the governorship. So it's a weird system.
They have the same thing in New York City, and it's not a good system. But I love it when they do this, when they get in the halls of the Senate and Congress, and they catch the congressmen and senators coming and going, and there's a big hot news story, and they try to stop them. And you would think these senators and congressmen, they were heading down to give somebody CPR. They're so busy, they can't possibly stop. There's a guy dying down there. I've got to get to him. So this reporter is trying to ask them about Jay Jones, this attorney general that made these horrible tweets saying he would shoot the Republican candidate.
Well,
and
there was a speaker of the House the House of Delegates in Virginia, and another person that he worked with who was in the House of Delegates. He hoped her children would die in her arms.
Oh, okay, good. And there's a story too, by the way, that there's a nonprofit called Every Town for Gun Safety. They gave him $200,000 for his campaign. You can't make this up.
He wants to shoot somebody in the head.
So here, listen to the answer some of the politicians, some of the Democrats gave.
Situation in Virginia.
The Virginia AG candidate Jay Jones should leave the race that he's in?
Time at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Did you see those texts though that he sent? The violent text messages.
Was that
Jones, the AG candidate?
That pencil neck
AOC going by too with him?
I don't. Could have been.
Kind of looked like.
Virginia should resign after those violent texts that came in. That he wanted to see a bullet in the head.
I think it was horrifying.
And do you think?
I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you.
He's the only smart one
in the race. He hasn't dropped out. Just wondering if you think he's a liability right now for Democrats.
Didn't have his hearing aids in. He couldn't
Wasn't
hear.
that the guy from Poltergeist?
I don't know. But I'm just so busy right now. I can't stop and talk about that.
Think about that. Come on.
If it were Trump or Kash Patel, they would dive at the reporter in the microphone.
They would be lining up at the microphone.
Yeah. Get out of the way. I got to talk to him first. That's the way it would be.
An area man got too excited watching adult films and died. Officials have ruled it cause of death as multiple strokes.
So, Alpha, I guess you've missed Amazon Prime days.
Damn it.
They don't just have a day anymore. They have several days.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever bought anything except maybe one or two times. Have you ever participated?
I've not. And I mean, do they have that really great of deals?
They do. I mean,
really?
If you're a Prime member, I was a Prime member back when it was cheap and they had good programming on, Prime, their channel. Now, I just find that it seems like they've taken all the good content and they put a little dab of it over here on Apple and a little dab on Prime and a little dab on. So you got to have 10 subscriptions to see all the things you want to see. And then there's Paramount Plus. I like Tulsa King and Landman. So anyway, I don't have it anymore. But if you have it, you get email updates and it'll say, click here. It'll have us based on your shopping habits. It'll pop up some deals or whatever. But buddy, I saw something that I'm going to have to get one of these and I'll buy it now and hang on to it for the summertime. Because, when I go out on my walks every day in the woods, 5 miles, it's hot. I get back in the car and it's swampy. You know what I'm saying?
You get the swamp ass. Yeah.
It gets swampy down there. They've got a new invention called a crotch cooler. And I'm going to order one.
A crotch cooler? Oh, gee.
There it is. It hooks to the air conditioner there in your car, and it shoots the cold air down this tube right into the afflicted area. And it cools you right down. And I suppose you could run it up either side of your pants, depending on where you had the problem. But
depending on which side you hang. But
so $12.99, you can own a crotch cooler from Amazon during Prime
How much
Day.
is it?
$12.99.
Instead of crotch cooler, they ought to call it Chili Willy. Much better name. What are you doing with that, honey? I'm just chilling my willy.
Yeah. So, have you seen the video about the study that was done in Denmark on the Palestinian immigrants?
I've not. No, what's this one about?
Well, there was a guy. I'm pretty sure this was on TikTok is where I saw it, but it's probably you can find it other places. Denmark had a real problem with Palestinian immigrants.
As does most all of Europe right now.
Yeah, their social welfare program was overwhelmed. Their crime problem overwhelmed. They had race riots, all kind of stuff. So they had initially allowed 312, I think, Palestinian immigrants in. Listen to how it snowballed into what it is today. Listen.
In 1992, the Danish government passed a law allowing the immigration, specifically of 321 refugees from Palestine. And the study followed them from 1992 to 2019. Out of the original 321 Palestinians, 204 ended up being convicted of a crime. 71 of them were jailed, and 176 ended up on welfare. So that accounts for 63% became criminals and were convicted, and more than half ended up on welfare. So they followed the second generation. They had 999 children. 337 ended up being convicted of a crime. 132 of them ended up being jailed, and 372 of them ended up on welfare. So that's a 34% conviction rate and a 37% welfare rate. Their very own justice minister later stated in a 2019 interview, and this is the guy who presided over this entire thing, by the way, and I quote, "These asylum seekers should not have been let in."
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I got this stat that you sent me this morning, and it has a state-by-state breakdown of how much illegal immigrants are causing each state. And listen, I have some sympathy for illegal immigrants that are, in danger of being murdered or,
if they're
in dire
legitimate
circumstances
refugees,
or whatever. But this is an invasion. I mean, we have millions and millions and millions of them coming all at once from multiple countries and multiple continents to our country and to Europe. And the Muslim part of it is an invasion. I mean, it really is. But I got to figure out why North Carolina is getting screwed so badly in this deal. I'm going down the list of states here. Florida is getting screwed. Georgia's getting screwed.
Georgia.
Illinois is getting screwed. Massachusetts is getting screwed. Michigan's getting screwed. Nevada's sort of, New Jersey's getting screwed. New York's getting hammered.
Right.
But North Carolina, like a lot of these states, Tennessee, $341 million spent. North Carolina, $3.14 billion.
Same with Georgia.
Georgia's got a price tag, $3.14 billion. Texas, $5.35 billion. Being add it all up, and it's a lot of money. A lot of money.
Does it occur to you that a lot of these huge numbers are in red states? So they're being sent there to change the population, the voter rolls, and cost the states a lot of money. So
right. Well,
even though,
we know here in North Carolina that they were busing them in from the border by the, busload. They were flying them in. And our governor, our Democratic governor at the time was just, nothing to see here. And he's probably going to get elected to the Senate, by the way.
Oh,
Roy
boy.
Cooper.
Right. So, and you add all those up, all those states, you add all that up, and a lot of that money is coming from the federal government, which you're being taxed in the states, and then your federal taxes are going to this as well.
Right.
So you have quite a large bill of people who shouldn't even be here that are costing you money.
You're getting it stuck to you twice, is what he's trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. That's what.
And what people don't understand is, you say, well, there's room for him here. Well, what if somebody just entered into your house, decided they wanted to stay, go to the refrigerator anytime they wanted. Right. By the way, I got some medical bills. I want you to pay those.
Right.
I'm not going to pay you any rent. How long would you tolerate that?
Not long. Nobody would tolerate it very long.
Well, it's just the same thing on a much larger scale.
But it's like the frog that you put in the cold water and put on the stove, and you turn the heat up slowly, and you never notice he's being boiled to death.
Well, and that's what's happened in Europe, and that's what could be happening here. I mean, look at Dearborn, Michigan, and other places in Michigan. That's what's happening.
I'm not saying all Muslims are terrorists. Don't misquote me here. But isn't it funny how all terrorists are fucking Muslims?
So we've talked about this before, the Candace Owens-Macron feud that's been going on. Listen, I'm telling you, if you want to, over the weekend, this weekend, or you got some free time at night, you want to be entertained, go find the Candace Owens documentary series about President Macron's wife, Brigitte, where she basically tracks her all the way back to their childhood, and the pictures clearly show that she's a man, and tracks her through her teaching career, which she was in her 30s, I think, and was sleeping with him when he was a teenager.
Yeah, 14.
And basically she said it's a man, and she has pictures where you can see the giblets, And so it got so embarrassing for the Macrons that they had their attorneys send letters threatening to sue her. And so finally they filed a lawsuit. And I heard several different things, that the lawsuit had gone away, but now Emmanuel Macron and his wife are going to present photographic.
Okay.
She's going to drop trowel for a picture. Is that what she's going to do, you think? What other photographic evidence could there be?
Yeah, I mean, if you're relying solely on photographs.
A picture of the birth certificate that says you're a woman, I don't know. But anyway, they're going to send photographic and scientific evidence. Now,
okay,
I don't know that out-of-country scientific evidence would be accepted in an American courtroom, because they, in other words, if it's a French lab that says, okay, here's the DNA, she's a woman.
Yeah.
If I were them, I'd want that discovery made in the U.S.
Yeah.
Have that test done here. I'm not going to take it from a French lab.
I would want any evidence presented here, though.
It will be presented here, but what I'm saying is, if they show up to court with a photo of a random penis, and you don't know who took it and whose penis it is, I'm not accepting that. And if you show up with DNA tests from some random lab in France in an American courtroom, we're going to send you out to the USA DNA place to get the test.
Could have been
done.
Anybody peed in that baggie.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have that done here.
Yeah.
And if she agrees to do that, then your case just got a lot stronger.
Yes. Now, if I don't know what the French term is for Big Jim and the twins, or the Twig and Berries, but there better be good evidence of it.
You want to see my pecker?
Is that your beak?
You want to see my pecker?
Are you talking about your beak?
You want to see it? You want to see my pecker?
Yeah, sure.
There it is.
Oh, God.
You want to see it again?
No, go away.
You want to see my pecker again?
Shoo, leave.
You want to see my pecker?
No, I never want to see your pecker again.
Oh, come on, it'll take you home.
So Lionel Richie has been out and about. I've seen him do a few interviews lately. Have you seen him?
Not lately, no.
I saw him doing an interview with somebody the other day. He's on some of these American Idol type shows every now and then.
Yeah, America's Got Talent. One of the other.
One of the others. He's on there. I don't watch those shows anymore, but he did an interview the other day, and suddenly, I guess he figures it's been long enough. He starts talking about Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And it was pretty funny. He said that him and Quincy Jones used to make fun of Michael behind his back. They had a nickname for him, Smelly. They weren't very good at nicknames, were they?
Smelly?
Smelly. He said Michael Jackson apparently stunk. He said he didn't bathe regularly, and he didn't wear deodorant, and he wouldn't wash his clothes for days. I think because he was always unconscious from the milk,
the drugs. Yeah,
the milk. What was that? What's that white stuff he would take? They give you during surgery.
The propofol.
Propofol. Yeah, he would had the doctor giving him that. But he said that he would wear the same jeans for weeks without washing them. They were sticky. So I guess once he did that, then Priscilla Presley thought it was safe to come out of the woodwork and talk about him as well. And I don't know why Priscilla Presley would do this. I mean, her daughter's dead now, but she came out and did an interview where she said, yes, Lisa Marie and Michael were having sex.
What?
Yeah. But she said Lisa Marie left him because she didn't believe that he really cared about her or loved her. He just wanted to be associated with the Elvis persona. Because that was the only person who had been close to being as big as he was.
Yeah.
He wanted to be close to the Elvis name and persona. That was the deal. So Smelly wanted to be in the limelight with the Elvis daughter.
Well, did he wash his monkey?
Not according to Lionel Richie and Quincy Jones. I mean, they're all dead now, but Lionel Richie, so who knows?
And by his monkey, I mean, Bubbles, the little chimp.
Bubbles went crazy. They had to remove Bubbles from the home.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the thing about those chimpanzees. They don't make good pets. When they're little, they're okay for a while, but when they get grown, they will rip your arms off and eat your face off. I mean, it's happened a number of times. There's a very famous case out in California where this couple had a chimpanzee. They raised it from a baby, and it was in its 20s, and they were getting older and couldn't care for it. And so they had it put into a chimpanzee retirement home. Shady Jungle Acres or something. Anyway, so it was the chimp's birthday. So the elderly couple and their daughter make a cake, and they go to the chimp retirement home with the cake to celebrate the chimp's birthday, which tells you these people are a little off.
Yeah.
Like
the monkey don't know.
Monkey don't know it's his birthday, and if it's already getting rough with you, why? So they go into the enclosure where the chimp is, and the chimp killed their daughter, ripped her arms off, chewed her face off, I think killed the husband and almost killed the woman. They have very powerful jaws, and they will just rip hunks of you. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Landman. What's the guy's name in Landman? What's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob. He did a thing about when he was little, he fantasized about having a monkey, a chimpanzee, and he wanted to dress him up in a little sailor outfit.
Right.
He said, but the truth is, when they get older, they'll eat your genitals and sling their shit at you.
Yeah, they will. I mean, they're bad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I remember, do you remember that television show, My Favorite Martian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bill
remember
Bixby
Ray Wershing?
Yeah.
So the star was Ray Wershing. Wershing, I think, was his last name.
Ray Walston. Ray Walston. Ray Walston. Yeah.
Well, anyway, years ago, I'm playing in I don't know why I was invited, but a celebrity golf tournament in Los Angeles. And Terrence McKeever, my old radio partner, was with me. And we're at this golf course, and there were some big celebrities there. Apollo Creed, what was his name? He was there. And so they have a photographer, they're taking pictures, right? I don't know why, but somebody at this golf tournament, this is how weird LA is, had a monkey. Okay, had a monkey. Now, it wasn't a chimpanzee, it was just a monkey, right? And so we're waiting in line to get a picture made with some celebrity, and the monkey is on the guy. He's like holding the monkey right here. And every time the guy turned around, Terrence would lock eyes with that monkey. And Terrence had big old funky eyes. And that monkey, he'd go crazy. And the guy turned around, he goes, please don't stare the monkey in the face. It's a challenge to him.
Yeah.
And it makes him crazy. And every time he turned around, Terrence would look right at the monkey and go like that. And the monkey would just go crazy. And the guy said, I'm asking him, please stop. He said, so he told this story, Ray, what's his name again?
Walston.
All right. So they were filming some episode of My Favorite Martian. They were in a convertible car, and there was a chimpanzee in the scene in the car. And he said it was really hot. And the monkey got really agitated, and the monkey turned around and bit one of the co-stars right in the side of the face.
Oh.
Took half his cheek off. Right there.
Wow.
And Terrence said, okay, I'll stop. I won't do it
Don't
anymore.
do it. Yeah. You remember the Richard Pryor bit about the monkey?
Yeah.
Monkey live here. You're the one visiting.
There are a lot of crazy people roaming the earth these days, Alpha.
For sure.
And the thing is, they don't give you a lot of warning anymore. You know,
you used to be able to tell the crazy people.
When you grew up like we did in smaller towns, you knew the 4 or 5 people to watch out for.
Right.
And people would say, uh-oh, here comes Joe.
Yeah.
And you got ready. You got your stick or whatever you needed, to protect yourself. But you just knew which ones to watch out for. Occasionally somebody would go off the deep end, but now if you live in a city, you don't know.
Yeah.
Because they don't lock them up anymore. They don't keep them in jail. No. And this woman is a perfect example. She's a 76-year-old woman in Long Island, New York. She faces assault charges after she shot her neighbor in the face with a flare.
Ooh.
As he was walking his dog. Now, watch this video. It's crazy.
Idiot! What is wrong with you?
Remember this video? Well, the 76-year-old woman who fired a flare gun at her neighbor's face was back in court today. In court, she said very little. She has a legal aid attorney, and the judge basically moved her court date to November. Now, we did catch up with the Suffolk County District Attorney today, Ray Tierney, and he basically said that he plans to bring this case up before a grand jury, and he's going to indict the case, which always means you could upgrade the charges, but he'll have the opportunity to present
whatever
information they deem relevant.
What gets me is she's out on bail.
Right.
She shoots a man out in public in the middle of the day with a flare gun. He could have lost an eye. It ripped his face open. It could have killed him.
What's the old hag doing with a flare gun, for crying out loud?
I don't know. They're not even certain why she did it other than she doesn't like dogs. I looked for happy stories today, and I just couldn't find it. The best thing I could find for you today that was happy is the IRS is closed.
And that's great news.
That's the best I could do, folks.
So you ought to take that and be happy.
If you haven't subscribed to the Jack Murphy podcast, now's your chance just to hit the button down there, subscribe. You'll get a notification when there's a new episode, which we try to do Monday through Friday, and like the video. It really helps us out. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Jack Murphy podcast.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.